Alright guys, I'm gonna be completely honest, it's late, I'm out of ideas to make a video, so I'm just gonna go with this one. Tried and true one, I'm just gonna do it. What if Goku went back in time? I think this is gonna be a redo, so I'm just gonna put redo up next to it just because I have nothing else to do. So yeah, we're gonna start this off doing any normal thing. We're going to see the actual, like the end of Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball GT, everything. It's after the entire series is done. There's only one thing we have to, catch up on. Hold on a second, guys. Important to stay hydrated. Anyway, yeah. Only one thing we really need to keep up on. How powerful is Goku? He's about as powerful as the Grand Priest and Sinnoh combined. Now, back to what if. We do know that in this version, we are going to know that Goku is a lot more powerful than he would be in canon. Because why not? He has more time to train. So Goku goes back into his regular baby body. Now, he notes that even with his low power level, things seem so different. But then he remembers something. He was told he would be at that power until he would choose to go all out again. So he would have to hold his power back down to 5 the whole time, which kind of got annoying. So when he went to Earth, he just said, you know what? F it. I'm changing everything. So Goku, not knowing what a woman is, all of that, he actually is thinking, I know what to do. He pops back up, not caring at all, yelling, Kaioken! Hearing this, Supreme guy's like, what the fuck? Because he was focusing on us for a little bit, and he was like, what the hell? That's my technique. And even though Kid Goku was kind of doing it, like, this is right after Grandpa Gohan's death, which Goku still has no control over his Ozaru form. Though he knew not to look at the moon, Grandpa Gohan said, come on, my boy. And he still wound up accidentally looking at the moon. But, he kind of had no choice. And in that mistake, he wound up stomping on Grandpa Gohan, which he was super sad about. And he said, no, his power being even strong enough to make saying, this power, there's no way. It may even be strong enough to keep up with myself. Because this is only Goku without any training yet. This is just empowering up to his full force. As he's like, even not so much back in time, his power is still just about what it was, equivalent with Whis. But it's not high enough to be his full force. He'll need to be at least full grown before he can use that. As the years went by and Goku did nothing but training, his power is now about even with the Grand Priest on his own. But Goku still seems something missing. He's missing everyone. As Bulma appears, and then smirk. But then he remembers that he got shot so many times at this. And things take a few different turns. Goku at this point knowing what he did, and he just wants to be mischievous in this version, so instead of, what happened, where he would be like, oh no, yada yada yada, and not caring, whenever she had offered that, he was like, you know what if I took you up on that offer? She was like, I knew a boy wouldn't be able to resist it. And he said, hold on, you see, that's not a very good offer. You have to give me something a little bit more for a magical wish granting orb that can grant literally any wish. What could you give me that I don't already have? I really don't need money. Really don't have any use for any, gadgets. What could you give me? And then Bulma was like, I don't know. And then Goku said, come on, I'll go with you. Here, take it. As she caught it saying, really? Yeah, I can always get it back. But you give me full access to your gear. Anything at any given point. Deal? deal. As this made it where Goku started just running around, beating up villains and everything, same way he did. He remembers them all. But then we go all the way down to where he had to fight Piccolo, and that he's like, I'm gonna let Piccolo live. Piccolo Jr. That is, deuces. Yeah. Piccolo Jr. still happened, and that wasn't really a big deal for him, but he still thinks it's not going to be the easiest. As he actually in this version found Piccolo after that moment. He wasn't even sweating when he beat Piccolo. It was a sound defeat. As he said, train up with me. As training him, saying, how about gravity training, Bulma? Which made, and actually giving her his own space gear. Here's my pod. Work out with that. Figure out how to make with all that. Make space gear and cheating. The entire Capsule Corp. So, the entire Capsule Corp thing went way smarter. And Goku was actually thinking, I wonder if I could do it by time training. Ooh, we might have to make that wish on it. We may at least have to make that wish on the Dragon Balls to mess with the time chamber. So there's no limit. But that would be pretty good. I'm still gonna do my 8 months, which actually I'm gonna do a full year in there. Which Goku wound up, instead of doing just 8 months, he did the full year and then walked away, got out of it. And this was a year worth of strong training, which wasn't that difficult for him to do. Now, this wasn't going to be difficult at all, as Goku was able to simply just walk out. And then said, well, and then just walked around. Now, Krillin, he would teach Krillin a lot more and train him to be way stronger. So, I'm gonna say by the time Raditz came to Earth, every one of the Earthlings, even Piccolo, all of their powers levels were around the 10,000 range. Goku wanted to make it higher, but they kind of had to, get up this to that. And Goku had already kind of made the wish to kind of amp up the abilities of the Spirit of Room and Time, making where there's no time limit, and making it where there's a good bit more training to be done. And he's not going to use it yet. He still got with Gohan, made it where, and when Gohan said he wanted to be a scholar, Goku said, do you want to learn how to protect yourself? Which Gohan actually said yes in this version. He said, yes, my son, I will teach you to fight and be strong like me, but also a super genius, like Bulma. Anyway, this made it where Goku completely trained him on how to fight. Full force fighting. Now, we're still going to go with the version of Goku that is a beast. We're going to skip a few days. We're going to do the whole thing, the Raditz thing. He actually wanted to get Raditz to join him in this version instead of dying with him. But he did actually think he needed to go there to train Raditz, since, everyone on Earth already knew how to train. And he told them, get as powerful as you can for the next few years. I'm actually off. They're going to be at least 20,000 by the time they see Raditz. Now, that's only because, there was 10,000 whenever they met Piccolo. And when they fought Raditz, they'd be around 50,000. And he told them to keep training. He'll come back for them. And then saying he'll be back in about a year. Because the Saiyans still want to come to Earth after hearing about the Dragon Balls. They take a year to get there. Goku, knowing that was bullshit, and they take about a little over 11 months, was planning on only staying there for 11 months, actually grabbing Raditz and, going all the way through to Snake Way in about an instant. Through Snake Way in about an instant. This is when they were like, hello. And Goku doesn't need to wear any weighted gear, because he can't find any heavy enough to even affect him. Literally, he will wear the heaviest weighted gear as if it's regular clothes. And he was like, hello, King Kai. I will need you to give me help and train me in how to use your techniques. Alright, well, I've got this thing called the Kaioken. I would never recommend going above times 2 on it, though. Oh, you mean this? Kaioken up 20. As Goku went into it and he was like, what the fuck? How do you know that technique? And then Goku actually explained to him how he's actually from, like, the future. But he went all the way back in time, back to his, like, when he was a little kid. Wow. I'm impressed. Well, there you go. So you know all my techniques, apparently. Nope, just the spirit bomb, and the Kaioken. Is there any other techniques I need to know? And then he was told, no, that's basically it. Well, can you train him on how to fight at least? Okay. Kaioken. Which, yeah, he still taught him the taught Rats Kaioken and everything. Now, Goku still kind of have no care in the world. He would kind of just breeze by whenever, like, Rats, when Nappa and Vegeta would be there. He was like, hey, you two, Pimp stops Vegeta, Pimp stops Nappa, and said, hey, so I'm gonna need you two to behave. On Namek, there's other wish-granting orbs, go there, whatever. But he did injure them to the point where they need to go to the healing pods first. And then, he also went against them without even struggling. Now, Rats at this point would just go with Goku, like, in the same pod he had chosen. He had chosen Saint Gohan, Krillin, and Bulma, but no one else. It was just Gohan, Krillin, Bulma. And there was actually another ship, like, fixed up for Tien and Krillin. I mean, yeah, Tien and Yamcha. They were let on the ship too, and it was like, alright, well, there you go. So yeah, after they had made it there, and then once the ship was done, Goku and Raditz would take off in it with Piccolo, which made the training so much more intense. Because, yes, they'd only made to go to 100 times Earth's gravity, which Goku would just walk around like it was nothing to him in. But whenever they were in the 100 times Earth's gravity, while they were struggling so much to even stay on their feet, Goku was just walking around like it was nothing to him. At one point, even forgetting it was on and falling asleep while they were doing heavy training. It was like, how does he just sleep in this? And then Goku woke up, got up, grabbed a drink, walked away. And they were like, did he just really just get up, walk to the fridge, grab a drink, go back to bed afterwards? Does he forget this is 100 times Earth's gravity? And then they basically went to tag at him, which he was just slapped away. But whatever. The Ginyu Force, he still kind of just eliminated that one. Yeah. Basically, nothing is a challenge. Then you got the whole thing. Because Goku still has the same exact DNA, it's just they put so many years of effort in. Now, in this version, we're going to say that all of the characters are there. Now, 1718, that whole thing still happens, and he was like, alright, I know what I have to do, I have to let some stuff happen, let this have to happen, yada yada. And then, he had to deal with a few other things. So not only did he have to literally deal with a heart virus, which he took the medicine for right before it happened in this version, so he would be completely fine, which only took him out of the equation for like half a day, half the time it took originally, and he just got up. Then, he would still be trying to lock on to Whis' power level, which was never spiked up, because Whis never needed to go all out. So he found that to be a pain, but yeah, he couldn't find it for the past few years. But now he's a grown man, and he's like in the Saiyans, he's fighting Frieza. He's powerful enough to even overwhelm Beerus, and he said, listen up. I'm going to show you the Super Saiyan, which he did. This is the Super Saiyan. It's the myth you were afraid of. Super Saiyan 2 and 3. These are just variants of it. And then he powered up into Super Saiyan God. This is what Beerus is afraid of. And then he said, Blue, this is just combining the two. And then Ultra Instinct. This is what Beerus could never hope to do. It's Ultra Instinct. And then Goku opened his eyes at full power. Mastered Ultra Instinct with Super Saiyan 3, God Ki, and throwing Kaioken on there, saying this is my ultimate power. Literally using everything. It's the equivalent of damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of a power. Which Freeze was absolutely overwhelmed by this. Now, this was enough power to even scare, like, make Zeno turn his head, being like, what was that? And even the Grand Priest was kind of shitting himself at the moment, being like, I don't know, but I'm not messing with it. Now, this is when Goku would kind of go through, you know, the rest of Z. When Boo happened, he was like, you know what? That stuff still has to happen. We'll still revive him with the Dragon Balls. Let that happen and all that. Which, he actually didn't want to go stay dead this version again after Cell, because he didn't want that to happen. He had trained his son to be strong enough to even handle Cell on his own, like Kamehameha as a child. So this wasn't a big deal. But they decided to kick out, you know, 18 and revive 17. Which was not difficult at all. Anyway, this is when they trained him in how to absolutely beast mode it. Which would be all they need. They train so they can absolutely beast mode it. Vegeta's trying to keep up with Goku, which he never really lets happen. Krillin is trying to figure out how to do it as well, which never really happens. But we're going to now be getting into, you know, Super, where Goku's power actually makes sense. And then Goku, when the first time Beerus came over, like, to the planet, he said, you know what? You want to see Super Saiyan God? You know what, Beerus? I'll show you something better. Yeah, what? As he said, this is Super Saiyan. This is Super Saiyan 2. This is Super Saiyan 3. This is Super Saiyan God. This is Super Saiyan Blue, which is basically combining Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan. This is Super Saiyan... This is the Ultra Instinct, which, you know, your Angel uses. Something you can't use. And this is when I combine them all at once. And the power of Kaioken. As he uses it all at once, saying, and this is the power that even Zeno will shoot himself when he uses these. What the fuck? And Goku in base is already equivalent to Beerus' like full power. Probably even Whis', so this made Beerus just shit himself off the get-go. And he said, you still want to have that fight? And he said, yeah. Base to base. Which was just Beerus going all out against Goku and base going all out. Which Goku actually went Super Saiyan and saying, see the difference between us? Flicking him saying, you want to meet a regular Super Saiyan God? I'll introduce my kids. Go to Earth. Which was a long travel as Goku just straight up ended the mission there to say, fuck you, Beerus. And that's kind of angered Beerus, but he said, if I even did something against him, he's gonna kick my ass, so I'm not gonna. As Beerus basically went, phew, on Earth. Now, Goku let the Boo thing happen, and the My Bulma moments happened with Vegeta, which had Vegeta power up into Super Saiyan 2, which Goku was kind of laughing about, knowing all this stuff's going on, and boom. Saying, you know what, Vegeta, you do it. As he gave him just a sliver of the power needed. Right to Vegeta, and Vegeta said, did you really just give me enough power so that I'd be giving an even fight when I'm in Super Saiyan God? Yep. You're shitting me, Kakarot. Nope. And then he said, hey kid, you want to know another way to do it? What? As he gave them each a little bit of God Ki in their body as their hair turned red. This is Super Saiyan God, but the fast way. You could also just train with me long enough, and if there's enough God Ki, if I'm using Super Saiyan God the whole time, or even just God Ki in general, you would gain God Ki after a little bit. Which Gohan said, alright. As he powered up into the ultimate form, which he kept training in, because they still broke the Z and everything. But then he let out the whole thing about his father even teaching him how to use this form, God Ki. Which was more of a long thing that he was just waiting to do. Now, Goku still gave him God Ki, which he kind of could stack on top of it. He said, son, if you were to ever use the same power as me, you'd overwhelm everyone. True. Anyway, then Goku kind of and then the whole thing about literally everyone teeing off on Beerus like it was nothing. So then we've got the Tournament of Power, because the 6th and 7th Universe Tournament just went with Goku being the first guy in, and he knew all their tricks, all their fighting styles, everything about them. So the first thing he did was just bounce people off the ring. That dude, he just punched him hard enough to send him out of the ring. The second dude, the cooler thing, whatever, the guy who basically looks like Frieza, he said, you know what, if you hit me with any of them needles, those bio weapons you have, I'm gonna punch you in the mouth. What do you think you would do? As he didn't let it happen and just punched him in the mouth. I said, and then he said, what did I tell you? I would punch you in the mouth if you tried it. And then he just straight up getting, every time he would try to do it, he'd get punched in the mouth. Until Goku just straight up said, get out of my ring. And then with that Magetta or whatever his face is, you know, the robot dude, Goku's just like, alright. As he starts to heat up, he says, hey, yo, dum-dum, get your stupid, ugly ass away from me. Get your wannabe fire, boy. Look like that magma thing from Ben 10. And Goku didn't choose that last one, that was just me joking around, but still, this was enough for him to start crying. He said, yeah. Now get out of my ring. Kicking him out. Kaba, Goku had an idea against this one. He taught him. He said, go to Super Saiyan. What's a Super Saiyan? As Goku's still threatening his people, his family. This made Kaba powerful, and he went to attack full force. Goku straight up just saying, cut that out, boy. And he straight up trained him for a little bit and said, alright, now let's go into 2. Going into Super Saiyan 2. And he's like, what the fuck? There's more! And then Goku actually ran into the forms. Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue, Ultra Instinct, and everything put together. Kaba's saying, you know what? Fuck all of that. I'm gonna learn them first 3 though. Which actually said just train and stay in Super Saiyan until it's basically even easy as base. I said, do you think I can even go back into it? Focus, train a little bit, focus on your back to get it back to pop out. Aight, cool. Now, you're probably as strong as my son, so, yeah. What I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna set up something with Vados, so I can, you know, between Whis, me, and Vados, so I can find a way to go between universes, you know, so I can just, you know, hang around. Go to your planet Zadella, pick your lightweight ass up, bring you either over here or go over there with my son. And yo, Vegeta, you want to get your kid on this too? What? You want to get him to train with this kid? Sure. Alright, so you're going to train with the kids, and we're going to teach you how to be a real man. Right? Which, Goku at this point, not wanting to see having the same results happen, would still mess with things. Just a little bit. But, like I said, not everything would be messed with. Hold on a second, guys. Anywho, back to this what if. Goku straight up just not caring, and back to the whole thing. And he basically just straight up says, you know what, so before the Tournament of Power goes on, like the whole time they have between that, I'm not sure how long it is, but we're gonna say the first thing that happens is he straight up just grabs Goten and says, son, I'm going to take you to another universe for sightseeing, plants, and fighting. And Chi said, oh no, you know, he's going to study, and Goku said, I'm teaching him about my culture, the Saiyan culture, honey. And it was like, wait, so you're actually going to teach him something? Yes. He's going to learn about his other side. Now, well, they don't exist in this universe anymore. I'm going to another universe, because I talked to another god, about letting me go into his universe. That wasn't really a big deal. Really? That's all it took? Yeah, that's all it took. Now, this did mean that this being saying that's all it took, that's all it took, because Goku said, yeah, that's what I can do. I literally have gods let me go into their universe, so I'm going to introduce them to Saiyans, and you know, Namekians, and all that. Well, alright. Gohan would say he's busy, so he can't really do that, which he really wanted to. Trunks would wind up going with them. Vegeta would go, and Gohan would actually have, like, last minute ability to go. That's about it. So anyway, like I was saying, he's training them, training Kaba. Kaba is at this point unlocked Super Saiyan 3. Goten is unlocked Super Saiyan Blue, which Kaba's trying to, unlock now that Kaba's kind of unlocked Super Saiyan 3, he's had trained with that for 3 days straight in it. Kaba was barely able to do that. But once he did, he actually went, and did the whole thing where it wasn't really a big deal. And then, he literally gave him, the ancient ability. He gave him, the literal bare minimum training things needed. He said, alright, now, we gotta give you God Ki. Now, you could get this by training with Vados and having her put Godly Ki into you. You could do this by having another Super Saiyan God give it to you. You could do it by having, 5 other pure-hearted Saiyans giving you their energy. Or, and this is a big one, you could wish for it by the Super Dragon Balls. Which is the fastest one to do right now? Oh, just have me give it to you. Watch this. Giving it to him, saying, there you go. Now you're a god. Holy crap, this is what godhood is? So, does nothing changes? Power up. Full force. Holy shite. I think I may be almost as powerful as Champa. Almost. Not quite there yet. Seeing that there's a mortal in his universe that's stronger than him, Beerus has just done non-stop training with Whis. He will literally be like, hey, yo, Whis, come here. Set up the Pyramid of Power. I have to go train for 100 years. Ah, my lord. I was gonna take a nap in this time. Just set up the Pyramid of Power for me. Alright, my lord. Setting it up, and then booyah booyah. Done. Now this made it where Goku and Vegeta were beasting out. And by beasting out, I mean they were literally doing nothing but training. Now, Goku really didn't need to do any training because he's already strong enough to stop the multiverse by just clapping his hands. But things wouldn't work unless we had another alternate version. But all Goku's power is literally sealed away. Not really. Whenever that thing tried taking over Goku's body, it was able to give him one, but it was a weaker Goku's body from a whole other timeline. So not many other timelines get this version of Goku power up. So yeah. When they're given the weak version of Goku, they're not expecting what they get. It thought it would get the power to solo any mortal, like it was nothing. The power to walk around God like they were children. But then, when Zamasu got it, he was like, this is all? It's nowhere near the power he had then. I feel like Kaba would be a better choice right now. Now, Goku did train, to the point where Kaba is now basically at the point Goku was, in canon, which Vegeta, he's already at the point where he's probably around, he can go into a weak version of the Hakaishin form, the God Destruction form, which is still called Ultra Ego, which he can only barely get into. It's more along the lines how Goku was in the Tournament of Power with Ultra Instinct than it is for Vegeta or anything. So yeah, that's basically it. Now, Goku talks about this Ultra Ego form that Vegeta should try using, which is basically just the God Destruction variant of Ultra Instinct. And Ultra Ego would be perfect for Vegeta, and Vegeta's like, alright, cool. This wasn't really a big deal for Vegeta to learn, it wasn't that hard, it's kind of his thing. But then, Gohan said, I have an idea. What form should I try gaining, Father? Well, you already have the ultimate form, and combining that with the God form is basically as broken as Ultra Instinct or any of this stuff we have. So it's basically your variation of Ultra Instinct when you're a complete potential unlock variant. you know, because it's kind of that broken. Alright, well, I'm still wanting to learn one of these things. Well, you'd be working better with Ultra Instinct anyway, son. Really? You think Trunks work better with Ultra Ego? Honestly, I don't know. He hasn't really aged enough for you to be able to tell what his main, like, technique, power-up should be. But Future Trunks, we know his one was that Super Saiyan, was the ultimate, was the Hope Super Saiyan 2 form, which was pretty dang powerful. Fair. Now, in this variant, he did have a little bit different in power. And by that I mean, like, he's a straight up unit. Kale and Khalif, you know, them characters. They found them for the Tournament of Power, and it was like, sure? Go, because Kappa still taught Khalif how to use Super Saiyan, and whenever, like, it seemed like they were flirting, Kale still tried going into her Super Saiyan form and rage around, trying to stomp him out, threatening to kill him, but the second she did that, Kappa straight up said, nah, cut that out. Powered up into Super Saiyan Blue, and then straight up grabbed Kale, saying, stop your shit. And then straight up threw her into a mountain. And told her to calm down. It ain't like that. Now she can relax, or he can put her back in the dirt again. It's her choice. But, you know, that wasn't really a big deal for him. So yeah, Jiren is like, what the fuck? As the first thing that happens, he feels Goku's energy and he's like, what the hell is that? Even though Goku's holding back. To where his power at most seems to be around like Beerus in base. That's a Saiyan. And Goku and Jiren fight happens in the beginning of this version. Like, it's the first fight. No one's even locked hands before Goku and Jiren have collided fists. And right when that happens, Kappa's like, oh shit. And Kappa's been training with, you know, Hit this whole time. So that's the only one who was even close to his power. And they're kind of even, honestly. Without the time skip, it would be completely useless against him, honestly, though. But with the time skip, his an unstoppable force until Kappa goes into the Super Saiyan 2 variant of his Super Saiyan Blue, which Goku and Vegeta use, you know, the Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego instead, so yeah. They don't need that. But Kappa is very surprised at this power. It is overwhelming to him, but not as much as he'd expected. As he was able to beat almost everyone, except for Vegeta, who barely squeaked a win out against him. And Toppo, he still kind of lost out. Toppo still lost. But then, even though Goku absolutely was wrecking Jiren, Caulifla, or Kefla, because they refused, were starting to jump on him. And they started jumping him with Jiren. Hit had to get in there too, and they were just basically going in a 3-on-1 for Goku just to get up out my face. And said, as right when Gohan was straight up just jump in and just straight up one-shot Kale and Caulifla's fusion, sending them out the ring. Hit would basically be completely stopped by Piccolo grabbing his hand saying, yeah, get out of here. And Jiren would just straight up get yeeted out the ring as a final moment with all of Universe 7's fighters still there. Now, this would lead to they still made the same wish, and then Goku said, you know what? I'm good. Goodbye. So this is kind of the end.